Hey guys, it's Landon from RH. It's a video I'm going to do. Shows you kind of a more advanced use case of a large language model. I'm going to use Google Gemini in this example. I'm pretty excited about this. Something I've been working on for a couple weeks. So let me tell you what I'm basically trying to do. So I've been pretty successful in building a analytical framework and predictive model for my personal life. I don't know that I want to get into a ton of detail about that, but I went through some childhood trauma and it just changed the way I interact with other people. I'm what they call neurodivergent, and one of the interesting things about neurodivergent people is they tend to use large language models in unique ways. So one of the things that people like me do is we're realizing, society is realizing that that we use large language models to understand the world around us and to understand human relationships. And I can definitely say in the last 3 months, this technology has changed my life for sure in that way. I mean, it's changed my life in a lot of ways. But one of the most important ways it's changed my life is just helping me to understand, quote unquote, normal people, non-neuro, what they call neurotypical people, which is most people in my life and the way they behave. It's almost like being born blind and finally being able to see colors after 45 years. So I'm deeply humbled and grateful and thankful that technology has helped me to understand, normal human beings in a way that I never have before. So I don't know that I want to say a lot more about that. That's a deeply private and personal thing for me. But maybe I'll talk some more about it. It's probably not here. Maybe on my personal website. But the reason it's important for this video is I realized that I could probably build the same kind of analytical framework and predictive model for our business, Redefined Horizons. That's the business that my partner Brian and I own together, and we have a great team. And so we're going to attempt to do that in the video tonight. And I have not tried this yet. This is not rehearsed, so this is live and raw. But I'm 90% confident it's going to work. So let me read you the prompt I've got here that I've got open in Gemini. And you don't need any of the special modes, so you don't need deep research or deep think mode for this. You can just use the regular mode. I am an ultra user of Gemini, so I pay for their top plan. So let me read the prompt. It says, I've attached a series of documents about a small land surveying and mapping business, Redefined Horizons, or RH. I own the business with my partner, Brian Leiser. Use these documents to build an analytical framework and predictive model about our business. When you have reviewed the documents and built your model, let me know that I haven't overwhelmed your context window. Then we can run a couple of simple tests. Okay, so I have learned through repeated use that this prompt is the most effective at building the type of model that I want the large language model to build in the background. And I'm not saying that this couldn't be improved or changed, but this is what I found that this works well. And that part about the context window is important because if you're not careful, you can easily overwhelm the context window in whatever large language model you're using, and then they get super buggy and weird out. So I'm going to go attach the documents now. And I think Gemini has a label, a limit of 10 documents. So what I'm going to do real quick is I want to, I don't want to have these grouped, but so I've got these documents. Now this is what I've been working on for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've been working on these documents, and I have a couple different formats. So I have the data in what's called a triple store, which is, I don't want to get into the weeds on that, but it's a more condensed machine. It's a more condensed computer-friendly form of the data, but I'm not sure how large language models are going to work with that data in that format. So I have just narrative articles about my business. and I'll open one and just show you. But so we're going to select these and let me tell you what each one is about. So this is about our client book or the types of clients that we work for. This is about my background as a programmer. This is about how we manage money. This is about the leadership potential I see in our team members. These are just facts about our business. I'm sorry, I'm grabbing the wrong ones. Let's see. This is about the custom software that we're developing. This is an overview of our business. This is the leadership potential on the team. This is about our challenges and opportunities. This is a broad overview of the team. This is a description of our innovation stack. Okay, now I think the only one I might be missing, I don't see one on our money management. How many do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so let me upload those. And then I'm going to pause the video and go get the one I need on money management. Okay, guys, I got that other doc available. And I'll let you know as time goes on, I'll probably create more of these documents. But I wanted to get a good foundational set together. So there's 9 docs here. So let's go ahead and run this. And it should tell me, hey, I've reviewed the documents. You haven't overwhelmed my context window, hopefully. Hopefully that's what it says. I'm going to pause because there we go. Okay, so it's excellent. I've processed and analyzed all the documents. I can confirm the information to not overwhelm my context window. Based on the detailed narratives, I've constructed a comprehensive analytical framework and qualitative predictive model for your business. The framework identifies the core components of your innovation stack, maps their interdependencies. The predictive model outlines potential feature scenarios for RH. I'm ready to run your test. Awesome. This is awesome. Okay, so let's try it out. I've only got a few more minutes, but let's try it out. So I'm going to say, based on what you know about RH from the documents and your knowledge of the typical land surveying consulting company of under 25 people in the United States, what are 3 very unique things about our business model? So we're just going to run now I know what some of those things are. I want to know if it can answer the question accurately. So let's see what it says. Now you got to remember, I'm running this test live, so I don't know what we're going to get. I'm fairly confident it's going to work. Okay, so it says, based on the documents provided and general knowledge of the land surveying industry, here are 3 uniquely defining characteristics of Redefine Horizon's business model. Strategic rejection of commodity services. So I'll just read this to you. The vast majority of small and mid-sized surveying firms in the U.S. generate a substantial portion of their revenue from 2 main sources: construction staking and residential boundary surveys. Redefine Horizons has a model that is explicitly built on the avoidance of this standard work. So that's true. That's correct. The build, don't buy human capital engine. Standard hiring practice in surveying industry is to recruit experienced surveyors, recruit college graduates with degrees in surveying or geomatics. Your company does the opposite. That's true. 3, deep investment in custom software ecosystem. While nearly all modern surveying firms use advanced technology, they're typically consumers of that technology. Buying software licenses from vendors like Autodesk, Trimble, and Carlson. Redefine Horizon stands apart as a producer of its own technology. Your development of a complete in-house software ecosystem is practically unheard of for a firm of your size. This is not just simple scripting. You are building sophisticated, purpose-built tools with a distinctive Latin naming convention. And then it talks about some of the tools. Okay, so this is great. It's working. I got a couple more minutes I'm gonna do a couple more videos in this set. We're just gonna ask questions about this model because I think it'll be super helpful for you guys. So, well, I'm gonna run one more. I'm gonna say I think the U.S. economy might be rolling into at least a mild recession the last 4 months of 2025, first couple months of 2026. Can you give me 3 things that makes RH well prepared to survive this recession? Now, I have some ideas, but it'll be interesting to see what it says. Okay, guys, we got to wrap this up in less than a minute. But so here's what it says. So these are reasons why we might be well prepared for a recession: exceptionally low debt and high asset ownership, diverse portfolio of non-discretionary services, lean operations, and a low overhead cost structure. So, and I agree with all that. And I read through it. I think it's great. Now, the real power of this model is to ask this next question. So I'm just asking it, based on what you know about the likely causes of the next recession, what are 3 suggestions on how we can better prepare? So I'm not just flattering myself here, right? I want some constructive criticism. Okay, so here's what it says. Formalize cash flow management with a strategic line of credit. Yep, probably a good suggestion. We've already talked to our bank about that. Proactively market your most recession-proof services. Another great suggestion. Absolutely need to do that. Implement a talent retention plan. We're already working on some of that. I'm not sure why. So it's telling me why that might be important. So this is good stuff. Good stuff. So I'm out of time. We'll do some more videos on this model here in this chat. I hope I've piqued your interest. It's super cool stuff. Thanks for watching.